Konnichiwa, Pat Tokuyama here, creator of All Day Like a Shark. This is going to be Shark Bites episode number 3, season 1. Alright, so last time we talked about some books that I recommend reading or listening to if you're into learning and developing yourself spiritually or personally. Before that we talked about some of the things that you might not have known about me. So coming up in this video, what we're going to be talking about is 7 reasons why I cook. What are the reasons that you cook? Let me know in a comment below. So let's talk about some of the reasons that I cook. So number 1, the most important, is that I enjoy eating. I enjoy food, and there isn't too much food around where I live in Orange County, California. There are some restaurants, but there's not really what I would call a foodie scene. There's some decent options around here, but not anything as diverse as New York City or San Francisco, for example, or Tokyo, or any, I guess, super large cosmopolitan city. And so that's one of the reasons why I cook. I love eating, and there's food that I cannot get unless I make it myself. I guess that's the second reason there. The third reason is that I love working with my hands. I'm a very hands-on person. When I was a kid, I loved playing with Legos, and I think now that I don't play with Legos, I love playing with my food. I love working with my hands, and that's the third reason. So the fourth reason is I love being creative. So I'm creating something that never existed before. I think after I finished college, I realized that even though I was a major in biology, I wished I was a major in chemistry, because in chemistry, you're making something out of nothing, essentially. You're building compounds that didn't exist before, and I thought that was super cool, but I didn't realize it until I was already almost done with school. So that was that. I also think it's a challenge, so it's always a learning process for me. I have some recipes that I follow, and I have some things that I make or get influenced or inspired by other recipes, and I make my own version of that, and it's a challenge. So sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't come out. Sometimes it comes out okay, sometimes it comes out really good. So that's the challenge there. I'm always up for a challenge. When things are easy, it's not really fun, right? At least for me. It's healthy. At home, you can control the oil. So I usually use olive oil for probably 99% of all the foods that I cook, including baked goods. I use extra virgin olive oil because I like the peppery kick, or maybe something more mild if I don't want that peppery kick, but usually extra virgin olive oil. And you can control the ingredients. So I usually use organic produce and meat if I'm going to be using meat. I also use less salt than is called for, less sugar. That way I can control my salt intake as well as my sugar intake, because I find a lot of dishes, at least in restaurants, tend to be either over salted or over sweetened. That's what makes food taste good, right? When it's well seasoned or it's very sweet. Otherwise, people would never go to your restaurant if it's under seasoned. Under seasoned food does not taste good. But at home, I usually have control over that. I can adjust the sweetness and I can adjust the saltiness according to taste. And you can also use other herbs or seasonings to compensate when you're using less salt or less sugar. So acidity is one example where you can use lemon juice and add in some acidity there to your dish to spice it up, or some fresh herbs. Those are alternatives, or alternative flavoring methods that I use to compensate for using less salt. How about you? Do you have any ideas there? It's a learning opportunity, right? So I'm learning what works and what doesn't work. I'm always testing things out in the kitchen, which is fun. And I'm always expanding my knowledge. So taking my knowledge base to the next level and learning different ways to, I guess, prepare foods. Maybe if I can combine some new American technique into some Japanese dish, or vice versa, it's a new approach, and maybe something interesting will come out of that. And then I guess the last thing why I cook at home, or why I cook, is that it helps to save money. Restaurants in this area, at least the good ones, are on the pricier side. By cooking at home, it helps to save me money and time as well. Those are some of the reasons why I cook at home. How about you? Do you have any reasons? If you have them and I didn't mention them, make sure to leave them in the comment below and share. So that's going to be it for today's video, and I guess I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.